China's electric cars are powered by AI-driven innovation. From self-driving breakthroughs to predictive maintenance, these EVs aren't just electric, they're thinking faster, driving smarter, and reshaping the future. Let's get into the latest AI dope.
All right, so buckle up, everyone, because today we're diving headfirst into something pretty massive.
Yeah, we're talking the EV revolution.
The future of cars, or maybe the future without the kind of cars we're used to.
Exactly. And to help us navigate this massive shift, we've got two in-depth reports.
Laying out a roadmap.
Basically.
From EV Curve Futurist.
China's EV growth projections.
And EV Revolution Ends the Ice Age.
This isn't just about cool new tech, though.
This is real.
Yeah, this is about how this transition
Impacts everyone.
is going to play out globally and for you personally.
And one of the biggest shockers.
Oh, yeah.
And this one kind of blew my mind, to be honest.
Definitely a big one.
By 2030, 96% of all new car sales globally could be battery electric vehicles.
That's not just a shift.
No, not at all.
That's a total takeover.
No hybrids, no fuel cells, pure electric.
Pure electric, yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. It's an S-curve disruption in action.
Oh.
We're past the early adopter phase, and things are about to get seriously steep.
Steep.
BEVs this year, 20% market share.
20%.
20%.
Wow.
And then by 2027, that jumps to 54%.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah, and then bam, near total dominance just 3 years later.
Wow. Okay, so that's the global picture, but what does this mean for me?
Right, someone like you, anyone listening.
Right now, where do we fit into this
Crazy
curve?
Well, that's where understanding how this revolution is unfolding becomes crucial. Quick ask. Almost 95% of you watch our videos but still aren't subscribed. Please click subscribe. It really helps us grow. And if you're not loving our content, you can always change your mind. Thanks, and back to it. China is not just leading the pack.
Oh, yeah.
They're practically lapping everyone else.
Yeah, everyone knows China's big on EVs.
Yeah,
But these reports lay out just how strategic they've been about it.
absolutely. It's
It's
incredible.
not just about cheap cars, it's a whole ecosystem they've built.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is that they understood early on that to win the EV game, you need to control the whole board.
Full board, yeah.
They've invested heavily, not just in car manufacturing, but in battery technology, charging infrastructure,
Wow.
even things like battery swapping stations for commercial fleets.
The long game.
Yeah,
They partnered with Tesla early on, allowing them to build a factory in Shanghai.
right. Seeming like they're giving up some ground.
Yeah.
But this move actually allowed them to learn from Tesla's technology and then apply those lessons to their own domestic manufacturers.
Very smart.
It's brilliant, and it's working.
Yeah.
The report highlights models like the BYD Seagull, which is selling for as low as $10,000 USD.
$10,000.
Yeah.
$10,000.
That's unheard of.
That's unheard of in the EV market, and it puts huge pressure on traditional car makers globally.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really does.
It's like they're playing chess
Oh, yeah.
while everyone else is playing checkers.
Yeah, yeah.
And the ripple effects are being felt everywhere.
Everywhere.
Australia, for example, is seeing a huge influx of affordable Chinese EVs,
Yep.
undercutting established brands like Toyota.
That's right. And it's not just about price.
No.
These Chinese EVs are packed with features
Oh, wow.
and offer impressive performance. Really?
The BYD Dolphin, for example,
Oh.
is going head-to-head with the Toyota Corolla. Corolla.
Wow.
Hey, want our free AI dope top AI tools that we use? Chat below. It's our live Google Sheets packed with over 100 killer tools, video, music, photos, AI voices, productivity, script writing, YouTube hacks, captions, the works. Always growing. Live Google Sheet. Always free. AI, dope top AI tools that we use. Download and chat below. Back to the show.
And in many ways surpassing it.
Okay, so what you're saying is this isn't just some far-off future scenario.
Nope.
This is happening
This disruption is happening right now.
right now. Wow.
And it's being driven by China's aggressive strategic approach.
Wow.
Very much so.
So for like me,
Yeah.
this means the choices I make today about transportation could have a major impact on my wallet, my lifestyle,
All of it.
even my career in the years to come.
Everything. Yeah.
Okay, that's intense. So what's the takeaway here?
Well,
What should we be doing with this information?
the takeaway.
Should we all be rushing out to buy a BYD tomorrow?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
But what's crucial is understanding that the landscape is shifting dramatically.
Dramatically.
If you're considering a new car in the next few years,
Uh-huh.
the EV option is no longer just for early adopters.
Right.
It's becoming mainstream and fast.
Okay, but it's not just about buying a new car, right?
Yeah.
This whole shift has much broader implications.
Absolutely. We're talking about a complete reshaping
Oh, wow.
of the automotive industry, the energy sector,
Why?
even global geopolitics.
It's huge.
Understanding these trends is crucial, not just for car buyers, but for anyone who wants to be prepared for the future.
Okay, so we've established that the EV revolution is a global phenomenon,
It is.
and it's happening faster than most people realize.
Much faster.
And we've seen how China's strategic approach is driving this shift.
Absolutely.
But what about the other players in the game?
Right.
What about traditional car manufacturers? Are they just sitting back and watching this happen?
They're definitely not sitting back.
Okay,
But the question is, are they adapting fast enough?
that is the question.
Let's unpack that next. I think the traditional auto industry is facing an existential crisis right now.
Yeah.
And these reports really lay out that stark reality.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
You know, they're caught in what the reports call the innovator's dilemma.
Oh, okay. Their massive investments in internal combustion engine technology are becoming liabilities.
Liabilities, wow.
Yeah, their economies of scale are working against them.
It's like this giant dinosaur is facing a meteor strike, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They know it's coming, but they're just too big and slow to react.
That is a pretty apt analogy.
Yeah.
The report points out that ICE vehicle sales have already peaked.
Peaked already.
The writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
And yet, many traditional automakers are still clinging to these outdated strategies,
Oh, really?
focusing on incremental improvements to ICE vehicles instead of going all in on EVs.
Interesting. But there are some exceptions, right?
Right.
Some companies are making some pretty big moves in the EV space.
Yeah, some are adapting more quickly than others, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Companies like Volkswagen, Hyundai, Kia,
Oh,
they've committed to aggressive electrification strategies, investing heavily in EV platforms and production capacity.
but it's not just about making EVs, is it?
No.
It's about creating a whole new ecosystem. It's exactly what China has already mastered.
That's exactly right. Traditional automakers need to think beyond just the car itself.
Okay.
They need to develop these comprehensive EV strategies that encompass everything,
Everything.
from battery technology and charging infrastructure to software and digital services.
It's massive.
They need to become tech companies as much as car companies.
Wow, that's a huge shift.
It is.
It's not going to be easy for them.
Yeah. And what about the impact on jobs?
Oh, that's a good point.
Right.
The automotive industry is a huge employer.
Huge.
Are we going to see massive job losses as EVs take over?
Well, that's a valid concern.
Yeah.
But the report actually argues that the EV revolution will create as many jobs as it displaces, if not more.
Really?
The key is to manage this transition effectively,
Okay.
investing in retraining programs,
Okay.
creating new opportunities in this emerging EV ecosystem.
So it's not just about the cars themselves.
No.
It's about a whole system of change.
A whole system, a shift that's going to touch every aspect of our life.
Precisely. And that's why it's so important to be informed,
Yeah, absolutely.
to understand the forces at play, and to be proactive in adapting to this new reality.
Okay, so let's zoom out even further then.
Right.
And talk about the geopolitical implications of the EV revolution.
Okay.
I mean, China's dominance in this space has to have some ripple effects on the global stage, right?
Absolutely. China's rise as an EV powerhouse is reshaping global power dynamics.
Oh, wow.
Their control over a significant portion of the battery supply chain and their ability to produce EVs at scale give them a strategic advantage in this emerging industry.
So we're talking about a shift in economic and technological power.
Definitely.
Well, what does this mean for other countries?
Right.
Are they going to be left behind?
Well, it's not necessarily a zero-sum game.
Right.
While China's dominance is a reality,
Yeah.
other countries have the opportunity to carve out their own niches in the EV ecosystem.
So it's about finding their strengths and playing to them.
Exactly.
But there's got to be some competition, right?
Oh, of course.
I mean, no one wants to be reliant on a single country
Right.
for such a critical technology.
Well, competition is inevitable, and it's likely to intensify as the EV market matures.
Okay.
We're already seeing countries like the US
Okay.
and those in the EU investing heavily in domestic EV production and battery technology.
So it's a race to the top,
It is.
with everyone trying to secure their place in this EV-powered future.
Exactly.
But let's bring it back to the individual level for a moment.
Okay.
What can the average person do
Yeah.
to be a part of this revolution?
Right.
I mean, besides buying an EV,
Well, there are many ways to get involved, even if you're not in the market for an EV right now.
Okay, good.
You can advocate for better charging infrastructure in your community,
Uh-huh.
support policies that promote renewable energy and EV adoption,
Okay.
and educate yourself and others about the benefits of electric transportation.
So it's about being an informed citizen.
Yeah.
Making conscious choices
Exactly.
and using our voices to drive positive change.
That's right. The EV revolution is not just about technology.
Yeah.
It's about people. It's about creating a more sustainable and equitable future for everyone.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
But let's be honest, there are still some skeptics out there.
Oh, for sure.
What would you say to those who are still hesitant about EVs
Yeah.
or who believe that this whole revolution is overhyped?
I'd say look at the data. Look at the trends.
Okay.
The shift towards electric transportation is undeniable.
Yeah.
It's not a question of if, but when.
Yeah.
And those who embrace this change early on will be the ones who benefit the most,
So it's about being on the right side of history.
so to speak.
Yeah, so to speak. But let's address some of the common concerns that skeptics might have.
Okay.
For example, what about the safety of EVs?
Okay.
Are they as safe as traditional gas-powered cars?
Well, numerous studies have shown that EVs are just as safe, if not safer, than their IC counterparts. Oh, interesting.
They undergo rigorous safety testing, and they often come equipped with advanced safety features like automatic emergency braking and lane departure warning.
So safety's not really a valid concern then.
Right.
What about the issue of range?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you can't just pull over to the side of the road and refuel an EV like you can with a gas-powered car.
Right.
What happens if you run out of charge?
Well, that's where the charging infrastructure comes in.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, the network of charging stations is rapidly expanding, making it easier than ever to find a place to charge your EV.
That's good.
And with advancements in battery technology, many EVs can now travel hundreds of miles on a single charge.
So range anxiety is becoming less of an issue as technology improves.
Much less.
Good. But what about the time it takes to charge an EV?
Okay.
I've heard it can take hours to fully charge a battery.
Yeah.
Isn't that a major inconvenience compared to the few minutes it takes to fill up a gas tank?
While it's true that charging an EV takes longer than filling a gas tank,
Yeah.
it's not always as time-consuming as people think.
Okay.
Many people charge their EVs overnight at home.
Right.
So it doesn't really disrupt their daily routine.
Oh, that makes sense.
And with fast charging technology, you can add a significant amount of range in just a short amount of time.
So it's about adapting our habits and embracing a different way of thinking about refueling.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about the cost of charging for a minute.
Okay.
Electricity isn't free.
No, it's not.
So how does the cost of charging an EV compare to the cost of filling up a gas tank?
In most cases, charging an EV is significantly cheaper than filling up a gas tank.
Oh, wow.
Electricity rates are generally lower than gasoline prices.
Okay.
And you can often take advantage of off-peak charging rates to save even more money.
So it's another win for EVs in terms of cost savings?
Yeah, I think so.
But what about the environmental impact of electricity generation?
Right.
Doesn't that offset the benefits of driving an EV?
That's a valid point.
Yeah. The environmental impact of charging an EV depends on the source of the electricity.
Yeah.
If you're charging your EV with electricity generated from coal-fired power plants, then the emissions benefits are reduced.
Right.
However, if you're charging your EV with electricity from renewable sources like solar or wind power, then you're essentially driving emissions-free.
Okay, so it's about making conscious choices about where we get our electricity from.
Exactly.
And as the grid transitions to more renewable sources,
Right.
the environmental benefits of EVs will only increase.
Precisely, and that's why it's so important to support policies that promote renewable energy development and grid modernization.
Okay, so we've tackled some of the common concerns about EVs.
We have.
But what about the fun factor?
Oh, yeah, right?
Are EVs just practical and eco-friendly?
Yeah.
Or are they actually enjoyable to drive?
EVs are known for their smooth and quiet ride, their instant torque,
Okay.
and their responsive handling.
Yeah.
Many people find them to be a lot of fun to drive.
Oh, okay.
And with advancements in technology, we're seeing more and more EVs with sporty designs and performance features.
So it's not just about saving the planet.
No?
It's about enjoying the ride along the way.
Precisely. And that's what makes the EV revolution so exciting.
Yeah.
It's a chance to reimagine transportation
Yeah.
and create a future that's both sustainable and enjoyable.
Okay, so we've painted a pretty comprehensive picture of the EV revolution.
I think so.
We've talked about the global trends, the technological advancements, the economic impacts, the environmental benefits.
Yep.
But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to the S-curve of disruption that we mentioned earlier.
Right.
You said that the pace of change is about to accelerate dramatically.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Sure.
What should we expect to see in the next few years?
Well, the next few years will be critical in the EV revolution. We're going to see a rapid increase in EV adoption, driven by falling battery prices, expanding charging infrastructure, and a growing awareness of the benefits of electric transportation.
So it's going to be a period of exponential growth.
Yeah, I think so.
But what about the challenges?
Right.
Are there any potential roadblocks that could slow down this progress?
There are always challenges when it comes to disruptive technologies. We need to ensure that the charging infrastructure keeps pace with EV adoption,
Okay.
that the grid is modernized to handle the increased demand for electricity,
Right.
and that we address any concerns about battery production and disposal in a sustainable way.
So it's about being proactive
Right.
and addressing these challenges head on.
Exactly.
But overall, the future of transportation seems to be electric.
The momentum is undeniable. The EV revolution is here.
And it's here.
And it's transforming the world as we know it.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but before we sign off, I want to leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question. Knowing that EVs are the future of transportation, what steps can you take to be a part of this change?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just about which car you buy.
Well,
This is about how this massive technological shift is going to impact, well, everything.
Yeah.
Your life, your work, your investments.
so where do we even begin?
Well,
It's
understandable to feel overwhelmed,
Yeah.
but that's why we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
Awareness is the first step.
Okay.
Now that you're armed with these insights,
Uh-huh.
you can start making more informed decisions.
Okay, so practical steps, what would you recommend?
So first, if you're in the market for a new car, seriously consider an EV.
Okay.
Don't just dismiss it based on old assumptions.
Right.
The technology has come a long way, and there are more affordable options available than ever before.
But what if someone's not ready to buy a new car just yet?
Okay, well, there's still plenty you can do.
Okay, good.
Start by educating yourself.
Okay.
Stay up to date on the latest EV models, battery technologies,
Wow.
charging infrastructure developments.
Okay.
The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions down the road.
Knowledge is power.
Exactly.
What else?
Well, think about how this shift might impact your career or investments.
Okay.
Are you in an industry that's going to be disrupted by the EV revolution?
Okay.
Are there opportunities to invest in companies that are leading the charge in this space?
That's a great point. This isn't just about cars.
Right.
This is about the entire economy and job market.
It is, and don't underestimate the power of your voice.
Okay.
Advocate for policies that support EV adoption and renewable energy.
Uh-huh.
Talk to your friends and family about the benefits of electric transportation.
Okay.
The more people who are aware and engaged,
Yeah.
the faster we can make this transition.
So it's about being a proactive citizen,
Yeah.
making informed choices, and spreading the word.
Exactly. And remember, this isn't just about adapting to change.
No.
It's about shaping the future.
Hmm.
The EV revolution is an opportunity to create a more sustainable, equitable, and prosperous world.
For more on the explosive growth of China's EV sector, its impact on the world, and what this means for the future of transportation, click this next video here.